It's time. It's finally time. Hey everyone, this is Xanthi and welcome to my channel In Two Pieces. Now, a while back, I did a video about doing a 3,000 piece jigsaw puzzle, and I'll provide the link for that if you want to go back and watch it if you haven't already. And now it is finally time to do my very first 4,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. Now, this one I have had in my collection for a few years in the idea of someday I'll get around to it. Well, that someday is now. And it is the Educa puzzle. And I do believe it's called Vintage Bookshop. Let me just double check that. Yeah, Vintage Bookshop. Now, my one concern with doing this one is the size. The logistics of doing a 4,000 piece in my sort of home setup is a little bit challenging. This one, it is 136 by 96 centimeters, and it is going to involve a little bit of, let's just say, putting together two very large slabs or core flute, and maybe using some clamps and using my other table. This table's too small. There'll be some overhang. I did consider the idea of perhaps doing it in sort of sections, but I think for a 4,000 I would like to do it all as one big one. So anyway, I'll see how I go and how it all pans out. But let's talk about the image. Now, I absolutely love bookish images. I work in a library, have been doing so over several different libraries over the decades, and I am also an avid reader. So this one really did appeal to me. It's the only 4,000 I own, and there's not many 4,000s out there that I've seen that really appealed to me, at least not to invest so much time and effort to do as 4,000s. So, but this one was definitely on my radar, and when I was able to pick it up for a decent price, I snapped it up. Now, I've got to say that Educa, I don't think is probably the best brand to do in larger piece counts because their fit is a little bit looser, and they've got those sort of signature pieces that sort of abut each other that don't fully interlock. So that's not ideal, but I'm of the opinion if otherwise they are a decent brand, and I'm of the opinion that if the image really appeals and you can't find it in another brand, because sometimes they are licensed to different brands, then just go for it. So that's why I picked this one. Now, for the image itself, I think that I will gravitate to the pink scooter down the bottom. And I think these shutters up the top, different colors, I think that would help. Um, Flowers are not easy to do, but I do like that, you've got sort of distinct sort of areas. I will be attracted to words, letters, and this red awning here, striped awning, will probably jump out at me when I'm sorting the pieces. Um, the one part that I'm really concerned about is this center bit here. I think when sorting, it will stand out to me because it's this goldeny sort of color. But actually doing it, because you've got sort of repeat patterns there, and then you've got this sort of little bookish sort of pieces, and I think I might get lost in the weeds here, so to speak. But we shall see. What else? I also think that it might be in a in one bag, being a 4,000, but I'll open it up and check that. I've removed the shrink wrap because of the glare, but we'll open it up and we shall have a look to see what we've got inside. So let me just turn this around. It's very heavy. Okay, what do we got? Yep, one bag. One big bag of pieces. And no poster. Not thrilled with the fact that it's got no poster, to be honest, because if you have a look at the box cover, which is obviously the only thing that I'm going to be able to go by because of the no poster, Educa has this habit of covering up parts of the image in the front. They've got the lettering, the numbers, but they've got their logo right up here on the corner. On the side, they've got a very, very small picture of the entire thing, so I can see that corner, maybe with a magnifying glass. But otherwise, all the other sort of the larger bits, it's not the complete thing. And at the back of the box, from what I could see, there's no image, because I know some will put like the entire image, at least in part of the back of the box there, but it's not there. So I think I can cope okay with not seeing that part, but it's not ideal. I think if this is the way that they're designing their frontal boxes, they really should provide a poster, especially for something this large. So it will be time to open up this bag and sort. I think the sorting will take me quite a bit of time to do. I think with these large piece counts, I really want to try and sort as much as possible, just so it's not too overwhelming once I actually get started. And I think it would help make the building part of this exercise go a little bit quicker and easier. So yeah, very excited to get stuck into this. So before I actually get started in building this puzzle, I thought I'd show you my setup. So this is the larger table that I've got, but as you can see, I've put some core flutes over the top. And that's because, unfortunately, this table is about 6 centimeters too short in the width to fit this puzzle. It will fit the length of the puzzle, but yeah, so I had to put the core flute over the top to extend things, and you can see the line there. I could have cut some and just extended it a little bit, but I really didn't want to cut these slabs of core flute, so I do like them the size that they are. So what we ended up doing is just clamping down the core flute on to the table, just in 2 spots. Where they join there, we just put a little clamp to keep them together there. But yeah, that's going to be where I'm going to be working on. So I have to be careful because it's not terribly stable. It's also going to prove to be a bit difficult filming, because what I've had to do is put a gooseneck on top of the cat tree in the hopes that I'll be able to get some kind of footage. So I'll see how I go, but the footage may not be as many sort of good angles, especially the sort of top-down sort of angles that I've done before. But yeah, I'll do my best. Just want to go through where I am at with the sorting. So as I thought, there was going to be quite a lot of this red and white awning at the top there. I also decided to sort with including the yellow wording there and not separate it into the a pile that I've got with the wording on it. So that's the wording pile there, which I thought I'll probably be able to grab more of, so I'm sure there's more to come. So I dare say a lot of it is going to be this sort of stuff here on this side. Of course, the pink scooter there, I tried to possibly get the wheels, but I think I might have accidentally put in some of those, I think they're lanterns, but that sort of silver metallic might be in amongst this lot as well. And over here, of course, we've got the edge pieces. Oh, it'd be really nice if I managed to find all of them before I get started on the edge, but I don't think it's going to happen. Over here was kind of interesting because this sort of dark green and sort of, I guess it's sort of like a orangey red color stood out to me. So I started gathering it, and it's basically here in the corner, there's these two chairs and table, and I was not sort of expecting that to sort of stand out, but it did. Here we've got some of the bunting. I know there must be way more than that, so I've got to do a bit more sorting. So yeah, that's in the windows there. And what else have we got? We've got, this is a bit of a miscellaneous pile. I picked out anything that kind of looks significant, that stood out to me, but I didn't have a lot of pieces of, so I just put them aside. And this is what I've got left. That's just only the one box. So over there, we've got the other box. So yeah, what I intend to do now is to sort some more. And I was thinking that I might try trying to find the flowers, because they're quite a distinct sort of different colors, and maybe sort them next. The shutters might also be a good idea. I was struggling a bit with the red on the awning, not to mix it up with the red on the shutters here. You got that texture there, so they stand out. But there's a few pieces that you go, oh, is that the awning, or is it part of the shutter? Yeah. So, some more sorting to do. So I have done quite a bit of sorting. Some of them are quite specific sorts. Others are just general color sorts. I think what I'll do is that I will resort as I go to make it easier. But yeah, I think I've got the majority of pieces sorted. I do have some that are in the just general unsorted pile, and I dare say the majority of those ones are going to be in the windows section there with all the books. But yeah, I think I am all sorted now, all sorted out. So next step is to actually start building. So I've got the border done, more or less. I've got a few gaps. I think there's maybe about 1, 2, maybe about 3, I would say, edge pieces that I couldn't find, which I think is pretty good. I very rarely get them all in one go. As you can see, it's a bit precarious. I'll just come around to the other side to show you that this board is dipping down. So that top bit there is really dipping down a bit. So this is going to get precarious. I did find that the glare coming out from the windows there was causing some issues. It's a bit of a catch-22 because you need some light to puzzle with, but then causes glare, and I need some light to film with. One thing that I'm really noticing that's going to make this very difficult for me is the fact that there is no poster. I keep having to go and have a look at that box, but it is a large box, and I don't really want to be taking it off its stand and peering at it and having to put it back, and yeah, that's not ideal. But anyway, got the border done. Now to choose what I'm really going to work with first. Well, I just got excited. I picked which piece, which area that I was going to work on next, which is going to be these 2 chairs and a table with the books on top, because I figured, well, it's right on the corner here next to where I'm sitting, so that might be easier to start there. And as I was flipping the pieces, I discovered this piece was hidden amongst it. So let's put it in place. So that means now I have only got 2 edge pieces missing, and I really wonder if I have accidentally sorted them into just the other regular pieces. I guess I'll find out. I'm really happy with how that came together. Got a few gaps here and there. I dare say they're probably in the unsorted pile of pieces that I've got. There's only a few pieces that I couldn't really place. Some of them might not even belong in this area, so that's not too bad. A bit of sorting that I did, and just putting this bit of corner together. And the pink scooter is mostly done. It was way harder than I was expecting. The pink stood out and there was shading on it, but it was just this curve, and trying to get this happening got a bit difficult, but I got there in the end, and I like that it attaches to the edge there. And there was only a few sort of pieces that looked like or possibly didn't belong here. I was a bit concerned with the fact that this end of the board was really hanging low off the table, because it's like this overhang. So between Marcus and I, we had this sort of idea. And what we did is that we stuck this cardboard, big slab of cardboard, underneath to give it a little bit of extra. So you can see it's sticking out a little bit there to give it a bit of extra support. And underneath, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get a shot of it, but there's some metal rulers that we put for an extra bit of support there. Because I was just concerned that once I get to doing things up at the top end of this puzzle that it's really going to just flop over. And also here, where the two slabs of core flute meet, they were really starting to pull apart as I was working on the puzzle down there. So we just stuck some masking tape underneath just to keep it together, because the clamp wasn't quite doing the trick on its own. So hopefully that will be a bit more secure. But I'm thinking for the bits that are up here that I'm going to work on, I might do them on a tray and then just move them up when I'm ready. So hopefully it will all stay together and not fall apart. Now I've placed this blue shutter in okay, but when I went to place this second one, I tried to film it, but it didn't go well because I struggled a bit, because this is where the two core flutes join, and this bit of the core flute is hanging off the table. So I've noticed that when it's on the table, it's fairly flush, but the further it goes and it's off the table, there's quite a bit of a gap there. And I was really struggling to get the pieces in that go over that gap. So got to be mindful of this seam for the rest of the puzzle. These are what I call my special pieces. So when I'm sorting, if I see anything that's got like a distinct pattern, I don't know if I can see that, but there's not a lot of pieces that have that distinct pattern, then I will pull those out. Oh, things that like the animals I pulled out, some of the cage here, the bird cage, the little bird house, the various cats, some of the pigeons, and the dog there, and these lanterns as well, and that planter which I just showed you. So I pull those out and I put them aside, and I will consider them as mini projects and just get them into place, because they're quite easy. Normally I leave the greenery towards the end, but this image has got, it's got the flowers, but the greenery is like this conifer here, some greenery, some leaves and flowers going there, and we've got some potted plants there. There's a bit of this sort of ivy looking stuff with the pinkish red flowers. So it's not terrible. Oh, and there's this here as well. But I thought I might try and do this conifer next. I like it because it's quite sort of contained in one area. It looks quite different to these other green ones. And the texture is very distinct. And these are the pieces I've found for it. I mean, there could be a few that I've missed in my other sorting, but I don't think there's that many that it will be all that difficult to do. So I'm going to give it a go. And I'm going to use the sort of the edging there to help me along, because I think that will help just to get that outline and then to work on the middle bits. So yeah, time to get into that. So this conifer proved to be a bit harder than I was expecting. Not that I was expecting it to be easy, but it did take longer to do than I had predicted for myself. And what I'm going to tackle next, I think, is going to surprise myself, is that I think I'm going to tackle these pink flowers and these leaves running right across here. I have pulled out some pieces, so probably got most of them, I'd say, maybe. But what I did is I separated the ones that I think are going to run along the bottom, so where it meets this dark blue, and I think that will help. And then I'll tackle the bit above it. And yep, and the next I think I will be tackling that one and that one there. So just getting this greenery out of the way sooner than I was expecting, but we'll see how we go. Well, that didn't go according to plan. I got about this far with that line of greenery that went across, and then things started to fall apart. So to save my sanity, I moved on to the potted bushes. So that one wasn't too hard to do. There was just a bit of light. It was lighter there. And this one wasn't too bad either. It does annoy me that I still haven't found that one edge piece, but I'm sure it's in amongst stuff that I've sorted. So yeah, I think I might step away from doing that line that goes right across here for now, and move on to something else. So while I was sorting out pieces for another area that I wanted to work on, I discovered an edge piece. So let's go and put that one in. It's right down in this bottom left corner. There we go. Done. So that means now I've only got just that one edge piece to find. So whilst sorting through these pieces of that red and white awning, I came across that one last edge piece that I was missing. So how on earth it got in amongst all that, I thought maybe it will be found in some of the sorting that I had done of the other vegetation. That sort of happens, but how it got in here, I don't know. But anyway, let's put in the last one. There we go. And that is it. That is the complete border done, and I'm quite happy with that. I think my next plan of attack might be to try and get these white flowers here done. I'm going to attempt the other flowers, and I think that's going to keep me very busy, and I might end up giving up, but I'll see how much I can get done. One thing I'm definitely going to try and do is do this line between the flower boxes and this green bit here, and also maybe the awning into the green, because I have pulled out some pieces that covers that area, and I guess the difficult bit will be able to tell which ones go where. I'm hoping that with the dipping here of some of the pink flowers, that will give me a clue. And there's some bunting there. I don't know if that will dip far enough into this line here of pieces. Let me know, but I'll work it out. So yes, I have got my work cut out for me next. I'm trying to do all those flowers and that greenery. I have separated the flowers into like different sort of containers to try and help me a bit there. But yeah, I think this is going to take a while. So as you can see from that time lapse, I sort of jumped around trying to do the flowers. I was sort of jumping from the top down to the bottom, kept coming back to this that kept eluding me, these flowers across here. And it's like when you're puzzling and you got this one piece and you don't know where it goes, but you keep picking it up, keep trying, and then, you eventually get it, but you're just drawn to it. So I found myself, no matter where I went elsewhere in this puzzle, I kept being drawn back to this line of flowers here. And I almost had it done, except I had a problem with this piece. Like, it fit in perfectly, but as you can see, it just, down there, it looked like it was correct, but up here, it was wrong. So I was like, no, I'm not happy with that. And this is the problem with this puzzle, is that false fits are real, because, that piece goes in quite easily. So I went through this whole line just to see where on earth was another piece that looked like this, must be in the wrong place here. And I found it. As you can see, that kind of looked like it fit, but when you look closer in there, that was very telling. So I'm going to remove that, put that other one in, that's better, and then go back and put that where it belongs. So yes, that's better. So yes, I think I'm going to have to do some more micro sorting, because these flowers, oh my goodness. I started trying to do the ones here on the side, because I figured, anything with this sort of brick wall stuff, that should be easy to pull out those pieces. But unfortunately, then I realized there was other pink flowers up against brick walls up around here. So yeah, not as straightforward as I was hoping. Okay, back to it. Wow. I think one thing I'm learning is that when I make plans of which part of this puzzle that I'm going to work on next, and then when I actually start doing it, well, I kind of veer off to other areas. So perhaps I think for the purpose of this video, I should not be saying, well, I'm going to work on this next and I'm going to get that done, because sometimes I start and it's like, oh, that's way harder than I was expecting. Or I get a little bit bored and I go, no, I want to work on here. I just get sidetracked. So perhaps I should stop saying what I'm going to work on next and just show you what I have done. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you where I'm at. Now, I did start doing these planter boxes, the brown wood meeting the green wall there. I sort of put into place the one underneath the green because those pink flowers did sort of sweep down and gave me a clue that one goes there. But on this sorting tray here, I've just got ones that I've done, but I really can't put them in place yet because I don't really know under which sort of flowers they go. So they'll just stay there for the time being, I think. What else did I do? Well, I'll just walk around. I did do a little bit more of that blue shutter. Now this blue shutter, the blue doesn't look at it as I'm filming now, but as I was trying to do it, it's very, very dark. And I've got a bit of light coming in, but the problem is there's a bit of glare. These Educa pieces. They're not the shiniest I've seen, but they've got enough shine that it made it difficult. So I did manage to sort of put in a few more that were missing there. So what else? So I did do a little bit of gap filling around here in this bottom bit, though you probably can't tell because it's just sort of here and there. The biggest thing that I managed to get done were these flowers. So I shall grab the box, which just has fallen on the floor. Bear with me. So on the box here, we've got it just above the door and just underneath the orange cat. So I did manage to do quite a bit of that. So we might just slide that one into place, sort of. I can't really connect it to anything at the moment because there's still a fair bit that comes down from there. But it's quite satisfying. So it just frees up this tray for me to use because I have got trays and I have got another table with a whole heap of pieces there that I've been sorting and micro sorting. So yeah, this is how much we have done. We as in me. Okay, so as you can see, I think I've just done more along here, and I'm sort of doing a lot that's coming off the edges. Really that lot of flowers is the only lot that's just sort of free floating. I've got this paperback stand here which is free floating at the moment, but it's pretty small. Same with these pigeons, just these small bits. But yeah, so like I said, I'm not going to say what I'm going to work on next. I'm just going to get into it and then I'll come back and show you. And that is where this video is going to end. Tune in about a week's time for part 2, where I actually finish this puzzle.